Subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face while you're sleeping.
Everyone has played childhood games, because what's a childhood without games like hide and seek? As kids, we have lived all those amazing moments of courage, adventure, thrills, and fun. So you probably wouldn't believe it if we told you that these innocent games might become sinister, too. But in this video, we have a list of 10 scary hide-and-seek stories that will blow your mind away and make you question the time when you were hiding in the attic and heard a growling sound. So, sit tight because the first one will give you literal chills. Number 10. Graveyard hide-and-seek. It's probably not a good idea to play hide-and-seek in a graveyard because there are already many things there that are hiding. Even if you want to, you definitely shouldn't after listening to this story posted by a Reddit user. The user and his friends went to a cemetery during the day to check it out. There were about 30 or so gravestones, ranging from 80 years old all the way down to a 5-year-old girl. They decided it would be cool to return later on at night and play hide and seek. When they arrived after dark, their perception of the area totally changed. What had been scenic and sort of sad earlier was now scary. All the graves were partially hidden by long grass, and the area was surrounded by large dead trees. They started playing. According to the user, he wasn't hidden particularly well, so he was just lying near a fence in the long grass, playing on his phone. After about 10 minutes, he hears some grass around him move. He got scared and moved to a different location while still staying hidden. This new position had him sitting with his back to a gravestone. Another few minutes pass, and the wind picks up, the temperature drops by a few degrees, and he feels someone touch his shoulder, and the voice of a 5-year-old girl whisper right next to his ear, "You're it." Scared enough? Wait until you see the first one.
Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell, and you'll get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it. It really works.
Number 9. Hide and Seek Creek. In 1971, a camp counselor at Camp Nook Creek started a game of hide and seek with the campers. He sent the campers to hide and made himself the seeker. After an hour or two, the counselor had found all the kids except one, James Lacey, but called time on the game because it was getting late. He yelled for the kids to return to their bunks for a count. Everyone returned except James. The counselor called his colleagues, and they searched for him all night, but James was nowhere to be seen. Once a police search finished, the camp was closed for the rest of the summer and reopened 3 years later. The same counselor returned and was setting up the creek for a canoe lesson for the new campers. Upon overturning one of the canoes, he was hit with a putrid smell. Underneath the canoe, he found the remains of James. Scratch marks lined the inside of the boat where the child had tried to get free once he became trapped. Number 8. The Invisible Guest. This is a story by Maureen from the Philippines. When she was 6, her 3 cousins and she used to play hide and seek in her aunt's house. Her aunt was already old and sick at the time, but her house was the only place with good hiding spots, and they lived near there anyway. One day while they were playing, it was Maureen's turn to be it, so she turned around to face the door of her aunt's room and started to count up to 20. Once she got to 12, she heard a creepy, high-pitched laugh. At first, she thought it was her cousins, but it sounded a bit different, like she was part crying and part laughing. Once she got to 20, she started to look for them, and found 2 of them in the kitchen. She searched for the missing cousin, but couldn't find her. Finally, they shouted that they gave up, and she could come out already. After a moment of complete silence, they all heard a laugh, the same one she heard before. But it wasn't coming from behind the curtains. She asked her cousin to come out. At the exact same moment, her cousin, Hannah, stepped out from the bathroom, from behind them. Everyone else had the same exact thought. They all turned to the curtain and pulled it open. Nobody was there, but they could still hear the girls' high-pitched laughing ringing in their ears. They swore never to play hide-and-seek in their aunt's house ever again. Number 7. Trapped inside a storage. A 10-year-old Phoenix girl died after becoming trapped inside a storage locker during a late-night game of hide-and-seek, cops said. Family members found the little girl's body the next day. Cops said they believed it was an accident. We found no indications of foul play, according to Phoenix Police Sergeant Trent Crump. Cops didn't release the little girl's name or her family members' names. The girl lived with her grandmother, an aunt, an uncle, and at least 3 other children in a house in South Phoenix. Some cousins visited the home for a play date, and the children started a nighttime game of hide and seek after the adults went to bed, cops said. The victim was known to hide in hard-to-find find spots, and may have locked herself in a footlocker sort of box made of metal and wood in the yard. When she didn't turn up, family members started hunting for her early Tuesday morning. They discovered her body in the box at around 8 a.m. Number 6. The Raid. At Spring Peaks Camp near Lake Michigan in 1982, a group of boys were playing hide-and-seek when one of them had an idea to raid the cabins of the girls who were staying at the camp. One night when the coast was clear, the boys snuck out of their cabin and crept into the girls' cabin. It was so dark that the boys couldn't see anything and were feeling around the room. As they tried to find candy and snacks to steal, the cabin light turned on, and the boys figured they were busted. But in the doorway was a masked figure holding a blood-drenched knife. The boys screamed and started shaking the girls' beds to wake and warn them. That's when they realized that they, and everything else in the cabin, was covered in the blood of their fellow campers. By the end of the night, every single camper and counselor had been murdered by the masked figure. No one knows who it was. Number 5. Icy Cold Hand. This story is about two brothers who were playing hide-and-seek in their home while their parents were visiting their friends nearby. As the older boy turned towards the wall and began counting, he heard his brother scampering around searching for a place to hide. He searched everywhere, but couldn't locate his brother. When he heard a scraping sound from the cupboard, he called out to his younger brother, but there was no response. Just silence. He opened the cupboard slowly and bent down to look closer when a white, icy. He then heard his younger brother calling out to him from behind, and frightened, the boy tried to break free from the grip of the icy cold hand. Both the brothers then rushed out of the room and out of the house, screaming. Number 4. Tombstone Tragedy. This is another example of why you should never play hide-and-seek in a cemetery. A toddler was killed while playing hide-and-seek after a tombstone fell on top of him in Denmark's largest cemetery. The 2-year-old boy was playing in the Western Cemetery in Copenhagen with his parents when the tombstone fell. His parents frantically called emergency services, but paramedics were unable to save the little boy, who died soon after. Kenneth Jensen, the police officer, said, the 24-year-old father and 23-year-old mother had gone to the cemetery to play with their son, as they often do. They play a form of hide-and-seek with him, but tragically, during the game, one stone overturned. The area in the cemetery, also known as the Vester Cemetery, was cordoned off for several hours as forensic officers examined the scene. It was a tragic incident, one hide-and-seekers will never forget. Number 3. Imaginary Friend. This is about a girl and her childhood friend. When she was very young, about 3 or 4, she had a friend named Allie. Allie lived with her, and they would play hide-and-seek in the backyard. According to the girl, Allie was a year older than her. Allie loved the girl's mom, but wouldn't stay long enough to meet her. Her mom never believed that she had a friend named Allie because she never saw them together. The girl kept telling her, and her mom first got a very white face and told her to stop, and Allie isn't real. One night, Allie told her that she had to leave, so she did. The girl never heard from her again. Fast forward to when the girl turned 16, and Mom told her that before she was born, she had a sister named Allie, and she had passed away due to complications. Her mom told her that it was probably all a coincidence, since she was getting a divorce at the time, and she wanted a friend. But the weird thing is that the girl still remembers everything about Allie, and refuses to believe it was all fake. And with that, it's now time for today's subscriber pick. Today's photo was sent to us by a subscriber. If you come across a photo online and want to know more details about it, just send it over to us. We might even feature it on a future video. Number 2. This seems like a prank pulled on a kid while playing hide-and-seek. The kid was painted the same color as the wall and made to stand there to fool the it person looking for hiders. It is not clear if the picture is fake or not, because we could not find anything related to it on the internet. Number 1. Washing machine. A washing machine might be the worst place to hide, and rightly so. A 3-year-old